And moving to the tight end, Ertz, second leading wide receiver on the team. We've seen what he's been able to do. We knew that he was older. So we're basically on borrowed time with this guy. We don't know how many more years he's going to play. And even if he does, God forbid he get hurt, another gap. It's another drop. Because then you have Bates, then you have Ben Sinnott, and then you have Yankoff. Okay, the great Yankoff, all right? So with this one, this even more so, like what do you do? Do we try to hold out on Bates, the blocker? You know, he's a solid force, but he really is not present in the pass game. Sinnott didn't really show up and do anything in the pass game until the playoff game. You know, and how long can we rely on Ertz? You know what I mean? So does this need to be a focus for us?
I think so. I mean, everything is all about making Jaden's life easier because you have a star at quarterback. And we always say tight end is a QB safety valve, and he loves Zach Ertz, you know? And so we need to figure out this position of, you know, between the draft and who we got. I mean, I think we've got guys in-house that are capable, but like you said, you know, there's a lot of names in this draft that are really exciting from a tight end standpoint that can start being groomed to take over when the time comes. So we found that it's a big position in Cliff's offense. It's a big safety valve for Jaden. So it is an important position to that they're going to need to determine.
Oh yeah, and I'm excited to see how they work with that, because what we've seen is that that offense is huge, yes, and the blocking part of it is also huge. We saw when they let Jahan get out of here because he couldn't block and how he wasn't tough. That's where I look at it, Bates, when I'm like, okay, yeah, he's not doing anything flashy, but he's in the mix. Each time when they're blocking, they're running to his side, he's in the mix. And I'll never forget the game where he played against, was it Baltimore, where Queen tries to come out there and was it Queen? Or maybe it was Pittsburgh with Queen, which Queen trying to come over there and rough him up, ripped his helmet off. All of a sudden you see Bates just stand up and, you know what I mean, with the whole mullet and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, Bates, all right, you're live. So, yeah, I would like to see how much they prioritize the blocking aspect of the tight ends, even though all we look for is who can make the big catch, who can stretch the field and stuff like that. I wonder how much they put into that going forward. So that should be interesting.
It is, and Logan Paulson said on his podcast, or he was on a podcast, that Bates is one of the best blocking tight ends in the league. That's coming from a dude who knows what he's looking at, you know?
Yeah.
And that, I think, matters. And you're so right. We sit here and be like, Bates on the field again, but he's an extension of the offensive line. And we had heard during the season that they loved him. They loved his nastiness and tenacity. And like you said, that's a Dan Quinn commander right there.
Yes.
So I feel like we've got the pieces on the team already, but who else from the draft could we bring in that's going to inject some youth in there and some excitement as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.